Hello everyone and welcome to this module on mechanical diesel. In the last class, we discussed how to rectify the causes for the engine not starting, both mechanical and electrical, high fuel consumption, engine overheating and low power generation. In continuation, we are going to discuss how to rectify the causes for excessive oil consumption, low or high oil pressure and engine noise. Let us collect the tools, equipment and machinery required to do this. Trainees toolkit 1 number, socket spanner set 1 number, torque wrench 1 number, feeler gauge 1 number, multi-cylinder diesel engine 1 number, multimeter 1 number, pressure gauge 1 number, injector testing machine 1 number, kerosene as required, soap oil as required, lubricant oil as required, cleaning cloth as required, emery paper as required, grease as required. Excessive oil consumption. Check the oil level. If the oil level is high, remove the excess oil. Check for external leakage of oil. If any leakage of oil is found, rectify it. Check the grade of the oil. If the viscosity of the grade is low, replace it with the correct grade of oil. Check the valve guide clearance. If the clearance is excessive, replace the valve guide with the correct clearance. Check ring clearance. If the clearance is found to be excessive, re-ring it. Check the piston or cylinder bore or liner for wear. If worn out pistons or cylinder bores are found, overhaul the engine. Low oil pressure. Check the oil level. If the oil level is low, top up with oil. Check the grade of the oil. If the viscosity of the grade is low, replace it with the correct grade of oil. Check the oil pressure gauge. If the gauge is found to be defective, replace it with a good one. Check the oil strainer in the sump. If any clogs are found, clean it. Check the oil pipes for cracks, blocks or leaks. If you find any crack, replace it. If you find any block, clean it. If you find anything loose, then tighten it. Check the pressure relief valve assembly. If there is any defect, replace the valve assembly. Check the oil pump. If any defects are found, overhaul the oil pump. Check the crankshaft and camshaft bearing. If anything is worn out, overhaul the engine. High oil pressure. Check the oil grade. If the engine oil is dirty, change the oil. Check the relief valve. If the relief valve is found defective, clean it, refit it or replace it. Check the oil pressure gauge. If the gauge is defective, replace it and correct it. Engine noise. Check the quality of the fuel. If the quality of the oil is not good, replace the fuel. Check for carbon deposits on the piston. If any carbon deposit is found on the piston, decarbonize it. Check the engine bearings. If the engine bearings are worn out, overhaul the engine. Check the injectors. If a defect is found, overhaul it. Check the crankshaft and play. If the end play is more, overhaul the engine. Check the main bearing lubrication. If the lubrication is poor, rectify it. Fault finding chart, all applications. Dirty air cleaner, restricted compressor intake duct, restricted air duct from compressor to intake manifold, restricted intake manifold, air leak in feed from air cleaner to compressor, air leak in feed from compressor to intake manifold, air leak between intake manifold and engine, foreign object in exhaust manifold, restricted exhaust system, exhaust manifold cracked, gaskets blown or missing, gas leak at turbine inlet or exhaust manifold joint, gas leak in ducting after turbine outlet, restricted turbocharger oil drain line, restricted engine crankcase breather, turbocharger bearing housing sludged, fuel injection pump or incorrect fuel injectors set, incorrect engine valve timing, worn engine piston rings or liners, burnt valves and or pistons, excessive dirt build-up on the compressor wheel and or diffuser vanes, damaged turbocharger. In this video, we have discussed the causes of excessive oil consumption, low oil pressure, high oil pressure and engine noise in the LMV or HMV vehicle. These concepts will serve as a foundation for our understanding of advanced topics in the upcoming sessions. Thank you for your patience and participation. Let us meet again in the next session.